Now it's time for TIPisodes with quick tips you should know. Techniques you can implement into your workflow right here on A Tale, oh yeah, A Tale of Two Hygienists.
Hello everyone and happy Friday. We are about ready to start recording live from the Celerant booth here at RDH Under One Roof. Really excited about this week's TIPisode. We actually recorded this TIPisode here with Jennifer Stanley, and it was fitting because she spoke a lot about like why we need to be getting out and doing things, why do we need to go to events, what things that we'll learn, what things that are going to be good for us. So I expect that you guys will enjoy this TIPisode. Be sure to check her out, Gadget Girl RDH on Facebook. Join the group, and we'll talk to you next week. Welcome everyone into a special TIPisode. I'm very excited actually for this one. As you all know, conferences are some of my favorite things to attend. We're going to get into the list of why you should attend it. Like, I don't want to just jump all over it of why I love it. But we're joined today by Jennifer Stanley. Thank you so much for being here, first of all. You should be well known. Most of our audience should know who you are, but do you mind giving just like a little recap of kind of your experience and who you are and stuff?
Well, I've been in dentistry for like maybe 22 years because I did oral surgery before I became a hygienist. So hygiene, 16 years. 80% of that time, I have been a guest hygienist, or other people like
guest?
to say
Is that what you call? I like that.
That's what I'm doing.
Good.
I'm trying to elevate it, baby.
I love it.
So temping, yes, I've spent majority of time. I have worked full time and stuff, but I enjoy the temping. And I started a Facebook group called Gadget Girl RDH. Mm-hmm. So invite. I really do need to reach more clinical hygienists. So
guys, look it up. Look up it's a great group. I like your highlights that you do.
Thank you.
I think it's an area that and I don't think it's sponsored, but maybe it is. I don't want to ruin it for you, but I think
at some point, I hope so.
I think you're just doing a huge service. Yeah, like just you're not getting paid to highlight people or things or and I love that aspect of it. So sorry that we're selling out to everybody. So yeah, find that group. Let's join it. But You came today with a message for us.
Well, I spent most of my career phoning it in, doing the free CEs. Okay, I just, I need to do this. Oh, I do have to do this in-person one. Oh, yeah, I do have to do that.
Yeah.
But, you left school. You were using the same instruments. You were doing everything the same way. Mm-hmm. If you were in one office, which I was not, so I was learning more stuff. Mm-hmm. Then you become stagnant. Mm-hmm. And then you get bored. Mm-hmm. And then you're uninspired.
All of this is resonating very hard with me.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So I kick myself for not doing this. I did went to a couple little mini conferences, but I didn't start going to the conference circuit until 2016. Mm. I did not actually get out there till then. From there on, I joke, I'm a complete dental nerd, self-proclaimed. It's not offensive to me, but I'm now a conference junkie.
Yes.
And it's not just about the products, it's about the energy. There's nothing. Do you know how hard it was during these shutdowns and not being able to go to stuff? I'm like, it's the energy. Yeah, and the camaraderie. And there's, of course, we'll get into it, a lot more reasons.
Let's get into them. What are your top reasons?
Well, I didn't really make a big list, so we're just sort of going on it here.
Sure, yeah.
You reignite your passion by seeing what's out there, by being stimulated. Networking is huge. You meet people, but networking, you're going to learn by going, to the vendors and all this stuff, you're going to get to learn all these new products and you're going to see what's out there, but you're also going to find what your niche is, what actually makes you passionate. Maybe you've been doing general forever, but then you're like, oh, God, salivary testing. Oh, God, lasers. I think I'm a perio girl, you know? So, you know, you reignite your fire. You reignite your passion. You figure out what your purpose is. And it may not be immediate, you know, but you meet people. And like we were just talking about it before you came back over here, you get goosebumps because you feel the love. You're with your people. You're with the people that are in the trenches with you, or the, you know, people that do what you do, and you feel the love.
It's interesting because, you know, as far as like trying to find what your niche is or your passion is, 100% can agree with that. And we've seen it with all of our friends, right? Where, you know, they went into it with a certain, you know, preconceived mindset.
Right.
They hear either a talk or they speak to a vendor, like you mentioned, and they're like, oh, so this is something that other people do. Like, this is a whole like avenue you could really go down. Like, this is a surprise, but you're not going to get that, you know, sitting and, you know, not trying to be offensive, but like in your one little op in your one little town, and just expecting the world to change for you. Like, you have to get out there and do the networking and meet people.
And you know, us classically, and I'm speaking as hygienists, you know, classically, a majority of us are type A.
No.
Surprise.
I mean, you know, and we get used to things. I'm kind of an anomaly because I like going into different offices and doing different stuff. But the post I had the other day, like, I was a train wreck because I left my what I call temp go bag at home. So I was kind of scattered just because I do also have to have my little comfort things. But we get so comfortable doing the same old thing. And then like if me as a temp comes in and I restock your drawer the wrong way, then people freak out. And you have to be like more open-minded. And I think whenever you come into the conference world, you know, you're meeting other types of people. So your mind is naturally opening.
Yeah.
The energy is infectious. The positivity is infectious. Because I'll be very honest with you. When you start talking about toxic work environments, toxic people, toxic employees, you know, I was that person when I was miserable working at a full-time job that I hated.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I realized my mindset was not right. And then I start hanging around with like-minded people and the people that I look up to and the people that make me want to be a better person. And they're all over the country. I mean, there's some in other countries. And you grow from it. You change as a person. Being in person, though, is completely different.
Yeah.
I mean, during the shutdown, I mean, believe me, I've got more CE than you ever need, you know, from doing that. And I did, you know, do my own continuing education course, and it was online. But being in person, there's nothing like it.
Do you feel like you're an extrovert?
Actually, I don't consider myself an extrovert.
Says every hygienist ever. Yeah. So this is my question for you, who appears to be an extrovert.
Yeah.
Probably feels more introverted.
Yeah.
This energy that you're talking about, how does that manifest for you, playing both parts sometimes?
Right. Okay. So classically, we're always on, right? In our job, we become a different personality for every patient. We even become a different personality for each coworker. And so I consider myself an introvert, but I am an extroverted introvert because of my career.
Yeah.
Because I have to.
You're a chameleon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I have to, you know, coming to these in-person conferences, like, I was so excited about it, but then a big part of me was scared and like, oh, because I'm going to be so exhausted, because I'm also an empath. So, so like, you know, I am just, sometimes I just need my alone time. And I knew it was going to be bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people that are introverted are afraid to come to the in-person conferences, especially if they're coming by themselves. And I recommend that.
Really?
I do.
Gonna make friends.
Yeah,
New friends.
First time I went, I roomed with 2 strangers and 1 person that I knew.
You are brave. I wouldn't have done that.
They were in the Uber. They just thought it would be a good idea.
Right.
Yeah, this was in
4-shared
17. Yeah, this was in 17 Under One Roof, Chicago.
Wow.
And we became great friends. Some of them I stay in contact with more. Some of them I see just here and there, and we keep on in touch online. But don't be afraid to do it alone, and don't be afraid to do it scared, because it's the only way we're gonna,
That's where the growth is.
And be in a group with, like there is the Under One Roof group, and so people are saying, "Hey, I need a roommate." Don't let the money keep you from going, because I split the room 4 ways.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And while you're in in-person conferences, the money that you spend going there is worth it with what you get out of it. Some of it, just in your mindset and in your growth personally. But let's not forget, you get swag. You get so much free stuff. And a lot of people ask me how I have all the instruments. Whenever I go temp, sometimes I take them with me, if just in case. You do get free instruments.
Sure.
If you go right now to, one of the booths, they're doing if you sign up and you watch, you get a free instrument. You get show specials. That's how I got my saddle chair. I didn't know that you could do this, and this is a tip that, the only way I could get my saddle chair, it's a $1,500 saddle chair, was because they sell the floor models.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I bought the floor model.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So it was a brand new one. But, they're not going to pack that up and ship it and all that stuff.
Sure.
But you're going to take back all of these different technologies if you want to implement in your practice. You're going to bring more revenue in. You have to present it in a certain way, of course.
Sure.
But you also, with ergonomics, if you want to have a long career,
Right.
then you're going to need to look at things like saddle chairs and these different things that help with aerosols. And if your room is a complete ergonomic nightmare, how you can rearrange it or use different devices or different technology, or, approach it, different instruments. You don't have to use the same old instruments you used when you were first taught.
Which I like. I think, there's something to be said about getting a small sample size to be able to feel it, implement it, like see what it looks like on a patient, or what it feels like with a patient, and not have to be committed to
buying
a
whole
big box.
box.
Exactly.
Yeah, because we've all bought stuff that in bulk and been like, I hate this.
Like, this is the worst.
Yeah.
This prophy paste just splatters everywhere, or doesn't splatter everywhere, or doesn't do what it's. Yeah, it's the worst.
But you network, you find friends, you get all the free swag, and most importantly, you grow as a person. Because, I mean, if anything taught us from what we've went through with this whole last few years of isolation, we need people. We need, even if I'm not going to run up to you and hug you and, try to give you a kiss because of germs, even if you're not going to do that, we want to be near people. Even if we consider ourselves an introvert, we still want and need contact with other people.
So let me ask you this as we wrap this one up. I'm super appreciative that you're here sharing your knowledge, and don't feel the pressure because we're here at RDH Under One Roof, but is there a particular conference where you're saying, if you're going to start doing this, what conference do you start at?
Because hygienists are so burnt out, I'd go to Under One Roof.
And why?
Because it's just hygienists.
Yeah.
And there's no clamoring for attention. When you go to some of these conferences, and I've been to a bunch of them, they pay you no attention because you're just the hygienist, right? You don't make the decisions about the money. So they're talking to the doctor, they're talking to the OM, and they're ignoring you. Hygienists, no one knows what we do except for us. No one.
Yeah.
And so that would be the first one I'd start with. There's a million of them, and I've been to quite a few. If you're very into oral systemic, I mean, is it okay to mention?
Yeah, or what I would even do is tease them and make sure, like, if you want to know the rest of these conferences.
Oh, right. Come on, Gadget Girl.
Come on, Gadget Girl's Facebook group.
Gadget Girl
And ask the
RDH.
questions. Yeah.
And I'll try to put, we can have a conversation or even do a poll of all of the different conferences.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to fly across the country to go to one. You can find one that's more local.
Yeah.
And in most of these conferences, just like Under One Roof, they change cities.
Yeah. East Coast, West Coast, North, South, all of the things.
Yeah.
Jennifer, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. Thank you for doing this TIPisode.
Thanks for having me. Everybody go join Gadget Girl RDH Facebook group. This is something I'm very passionate about. So thank you.
A tale of two hygienists.